Hi everybody and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Chickling.
And we're on day 2 of our colourful guide to Taiwan's cherry blossoms. And so yesterday we basically said cherry blossoms are beautiful to look at.
Many people will travel to Japan to see them.
Right, it's a pretty famous thing to do. However, there are some great places to see these beautiful, colourful, pink views in Taiwan as well. And this article has been introducing some of them.
For example, there's Yangmingshan National Park. You can see the flowers from mid-January until March.
Okay, so they come out quite early there. And out there, Lane 42 Pingjing Street is a famous place for people to do this, to see the flowers. And it's said to be very romantic.
People can also check out Tianjin Temple in New Taipei City.
This is actually quite close. I always forget that New Taipei City is all around Taipei, so like everywhere's New Taipei City. But the flowers in Tianjin Temple come out a little later. They're like throughout March. But even if you have to wait a bit longer, there's a variety of colors to be seen.
The architecture of this area is also very beautiful.
Great. So you can go and see the temple and the stones and stuff, as well as the flowers, or these pinks and peaches and dark pinks. So today we are going to introduce 3 more places that you can visit if you want to see cherry blossoms in Taiwan. Let's read through day 2 and find out where they are.
Reading.
A colorful guide to Taiwan's cherry blossoms. Chiang Kai-Shek Memorial Hall, Taipei City. With plenty of cherry blossoms, the gardens here offer a chance to find springtime beauty in the city. Around February and March, the trees are filled with flowers, while colorful azaleas bloom below. Alishan, Jiayi County. Whereas northern Taiwan gets many of its blossoms in January, the buds on Alishan open later. Its 20,000 cherry blossom trees usually show their spring colors during March and April. When they do, the scene is magical. You can appreciate Alishan's blossoms from the windows of its charming old steam train. Wuling Farm, Taichung City. Wuling Farm is high in the mountains of central Taiwan, and it is a dramatic setting for cherry blossom viewing. Its thousands of beautiful trees are at their best along lovely walking paths like Tea Garden Trail. This finishes at a resting pavilion where you can sit back and enjoy the colorful mountain scenery. Cherry blossom viewing in Taiwan is nothing less than a fairy tale experience. Don't miss the flowers this spring.
Okay, so that's our article, and today we're going to start at Chiang Kai-Shek Memorial Hall, Taipei City.
Here we see that with plenty of cherry blossoms, the gardens here offer a chance to find springtime beauty in the city.
Okay, we have a couple of words to look at here, starting with plenty. We say there are plenty of cherry blossoms here. The word plenty means lots of something. In fact, plenty is often used with of. We've got plenty of money, plenty of time, plenty of things to say in today's lesson, and so on. If there's plenty of something, there is enough for everyone. We're not going to run out. We may even have more than we need, but we've certainly got enough. For example, you could say, I ordered 12 pizzas for the party. So there will be plenty of slices for everyone. Anybody can have as much as they want, and we're not going to run out.
所以就是有很丰富啊、大量的意思。这个字非常好用，后面呢可以加可数或不可数名词都是可以。老师刚刚有讲到哦，那我们可以变 plenty of money, ideas, information, stories, time 都可以加在 plenty of 的后面。那它的形容词就是 plentiful. So when something is plentiful, that means there is a lot of it. 就是很丰富的、很充足的。For instance, tomatoes are plentiful at the moment, so the prices are low.
Now, in that sentence, we also saw the word offer. The gardens offer a chance to find springtime beauty in the city. You can offer a person something, like you can say, hey, do you want this? That is making an offer. But when we're using the word about a place, like Chiang Kai-Shek Memorial Hall, and saying this place offers this thing, then we mean this place has a particular thing, and anyone who goes there can enjoy it. So we could say a coffee shop offers free Wi-Fi, which means anybody can use it. It offers comfy seats. All its seats are comfortable. Or the coffee shop offers great coffee, means you can go there and buy it. We're saying anybody can go to this place and enjoy any of these things. For example, this park offers dog owners a space where dogs can run around off their leads.
所以 offer 就是提供，那么 to offer to do something 就是问人家需不需要我们帮他们做什么事情哦。比如说 he offered help even though we didn't know each other。那一个人如果得到了一份工作，我们可以用 offer 这个单字。比如说啊 she couldn't believe that she was offered a job in Paris。那么 offer 这个字呢，也可以当名词。当名词像我们提到的工作机会、录取通知，就可以说 a job offer。那么文章意思，因为有很多樱花呀，在中正纪念堂的花园，就可以让我们看到春天的美丽。So what can we see there?Well,
we see in the article that around February and March, the trees are filled with flowers, while colourful azaleas bloom below. If something is filled with another thing, it has a lot of that thing inside it. So we're saying there are lots of flowers here, basically.
所以就是充满着 be filled with。 那么大约在2月3月的时候呢，树上开满了樱花。这边是我们今天的文法。那么我们的 while 放句首或句中，表示而怎么样但怎么样的意思，通常用来比较对比前面的跟后面两个句子。语义呢跟 but 还有 whereas 还蛮相近的。所以呢，就像我们课文的前半句，它指的就是高处。提到大约在2月3月的时候呢，树上会开满花朵。那么后半句呢，就是指出在树下也会有很多彩的杜鹃花盛开。那我们直接造一个例句 ：The children wanted to get up early and go to the park, while their parents wanted to stay home and rest. 这群孩子呢，想要早起去公园，不过爸爸妈妈想要待在家里面休息。
Right. So yeah, that sentence had another contrast word. We saw although and despite in day one. Here we're using while. Now, while can be used to show two things happening at the same time, like I was washing the floor while my brother was cleaning the windows. But as we've seen, we can use it to mean the same thing as whereas, so presenting a contrast. The flowers are on the trees, but the azaleas are blooming on the ground.Okay, time to move to our next place, and we're going south. We're in Alishan, Chiang County.
所以接下来就到了嘉义县的阿里山 And here the article says, whereas northern Taiwan gets many of its blossoms in January, the buds on Alishan open later.So
here we see the word whereas, yet another contrast word that, as we said just a moment ago, means the same as while when we're using it in this way to present a contrast. And we're contrasting times here. So Taipei has cherry blossoms in January, while the ones further south come out later in the year.
所以这句话意思就是北台湾呢大约在1月就开花了，不过阿里山呢的花会开得比较晚。
We also saw the word bud in that sentence. As a noun, the word bud is a growth on a plant or a tree that will turn into most likely flowers, but also leaves or another shoot. So a bud opens and becomes a flower. We can also use the word as a verb and say the trees are budding, the flowers are budding. They are kind of growing these small things that are going to turn into flowers.As a noun, we could say, in spring, all the buds in my garden opened and became a field of flowers.
所以老师刚刚讲到了，就是正在萌芽，我们就可以用 budding 这个字。那么在文章中是个名词，有花蕾、花芽的意思。那我们也可以说 be in bud， 代表 covered with buds， 就是发芽呀、含苞待放的意思。比如说 the flowers are in bud， 花朵正在萌芽，或像老师刚刚说的，当动词 the trees are budding 也可以。
So next we see that so this is Alishan's, its 20,000 cherry blossom trees usually show their spring colors during March and April.
所以这2万棵的樱花树呢，通常在3月、4月会显现出漂亮春天的颜色。We also see that when they do, the scene is magical.
Let's describe it.We see that you can appreciate Alishan's blossoms from the windows of its charming old steam train. So the word charming means pleasant or attractive, and we use it to describe things that are kind of cute, kind of sweet. It's not sort of attractive in like, wow, she's so beautiful, but oh, that's really nice to look at. That's kind of cute. It has a lot of charm if we use it as a noun. We often use it for old things, small things, and kind of pretty little things. For example, we could say, the little girl wore a charming dress for her 6th birthday party.
所以 charming 就是迷人的、可爱的，所以白马王子就是 Prince Charming。那么 charm 这个字呢，它就是它的名词跟动词有当魅力或吸引，所以有一个片语是 turn on the charm， 就是试着去吸引别人。通常不是很好的意思，通常代表你试着去得到某个好处，你才会 turn on the charm。比如说 he can really turn on the charm when he wants to get something out of you。那么 charm 也可以当护身符哦 ，like a lucky charm。or good luck charm. 那么一样，我们把它当动词，可以造一个片语 to charm the pants of someone, and that means to make someone like you a lot. 所以尤其是指第一次见面，讨别人喜欢，试着让别人喜欢你。比如说 the manager tried to charm the pants of me, but I'm still not interested in taking the job.Okay,
we have one more place to visit on our tour of Taiwan's cherry blossoms. It's Wuling Farm, Taichung City.
哇，所以接下来来到台中的武陵农场。We learned that Wuling Farm is high in the mountains of central Taiwan, and it is a dramatic setting for cherry blossom viewing.We
use the word central as a direction here, and it means in the middle or the center of a place. We can talk about the north, east, south, and west of an area, but the central part is in the middle. So we could talk about central Taipei. This could mean around like Taipei main station, I would say. Central Taiwan means around Taichung and the other middle counties like Nantou. To use an example from my own life and my own country, I come from Nottingham, a city in central England.
那么 central 就是在中间的、中央的，大家应该不陌生，因为它就是 center 这个单字来的。比如说 center of attention 也是我们常讲的焦点的意思。He always makes funny jokes because he enjoys being the center of attention. 那么 center 这个字呢，我们刚刚讲的，它当动词可以说 to center on something， 以什么为中心，围绕着。The second chapter centers on the backgrounds of each character. 这边就是当动词。那么文章的意思就是武陵农场呢，在中台湾地区高高的山上，是一个非常可以观赏樱花的地点。
So, what do we know about Wuling Farm? Well, the article says its thousands of beautiful trees are at their best along lovely walking paths like Tea Garden Trail.So when we describe something as at its best, then we're talking about the best time to see or meet or experience something. So we could say this part of the country is at its best in the summer, so summer's the best time to go. It can also be used about a person. Someone might not be at their best in the mornings, for example. They're all a bit tired and grumpy. Other people might not be at their best in the evenings because they're kind of tired from the day. When would you say you are at your best? Mornings, afternoons, evenings?
At night.
At night, okay.
Yeah, that's when I'm most energetic.
I'm probably at my best in the mornings these days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think after about 9 o'clock, my brain shuts down in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been working all day. And
Usually, yes.
Yeah. Okay, 所以这个 at one's best or at something's best 就是在某人某物的最佳状态。那这边指的是数以千计的数，看起来最漂亮的时候是在什么时候这样子。
We also saw the word path. A path is a track laid down for people to use. Now, some paths can be created by people, they actually go and make it, or it can be created over time. Like if people follow the same little route for the many, many years, it could just become a path, a common track. A lot of hiking paths are like this. They're just the little roads that people have used so often that it's sort of become an open, clear way. A path could be for walking, for hiking, for bikes, and animals use paths as well, often to get to water. And as I said, you can make your own paths, so you could create a path in a garden so people don't walk on the grass. Like you'd call that a garden path, usually made out of maybe stones or wood, so people can kind of walk along that and they don't trample the grass or the flowers. We could also say, for example, the hiking path goes all the way from Tianjin to Beitou.
那么 path 就是路跟小径，那到哪里的路，我们可以说 a path to the sea, a path to the cliffs, a path to the mountains 都可以。老师刚刚讲到好多用法了，那我们也可以拿来当抽象的东西，比如说 hard work is the path to success， 代表呢努力就是成功的路径。And what do we learn about the Tea Garden Trail?
Yeah, what is the... Well, we know it's a lovely walking path. We've said that in the previous sentence. Now we add, this, meaning the path, finishes at a resting pavilion where you can sit back and enjoy the colourful mountain scenery. So a pavilion is a decorated building in a park or in a garden that's generally used for shelter from the sun or sometimes the rain. You can sit there and it's mostly open so you can look out at the world. Pavilions are also nice to look at if you are walking through the park or the garden. They're usually quite attractive buildings with nice architecture and so on. Now, some pavilions have solid roofs, but others, usually temporary ones, can just use fabric. You can just put these pavilions up like a big tent and take them down. They're quite common in the UK in the summer. You'd put them up for maybe people to have dinner under or to throw a party under. They're very common at summer weddings. You'd put up a big pavilion and people would have dinner in there and have a dance and a party, and then you take it down the next day. We can call that a pavilion too.
所以就是凉亭啊 pavilion 就是凉亭的意思。So in our article, we learned that a pavilion is a good place to sit back.
That's right. To sit back is to sit in a relaxed way and enjoy something. Maybe you're chatting with someone, you could be reading, watching TV, listening to music, whatever. The idea is that you're comfortable and you're not really planning to get up and go anywhere anytime soon.
所以就是放松的意思。所以呢，现在前面提到的 Tea Garden Trail 的终点就在一个我们可以放松的凉亭。
We also saw the word scenery, which is all the natural features of a landscape you can see in an area. We use it to talk about the way a place looks, and it's quite common to use this word of an area when the natural features are nice to look at.
它就是景色 scenery。那在这个凉亭呢，可以看到非常漂亮的山景。
We're now getting into the conclusion of the article, which says, cherry blossom viewing in Taiwan is nothing less than a fairy tale experience. We use the phrase nothing less than to explain how impressive or important something is. We're trying to say that what follows is a true description. We're telling the truth about it. We're not adding anything. We're not making up stuff. We're saying, no, this is really what it is. It's nothing less than this. If anything, it's more.
所以 be nothing less than something 就是不亚于简直是的意思，所以在台湾看樱花并不输什么的意思。And what we describe it as is a fairy tale experience.
Right. A fairy tale is a wonderful story involving fairies and magic and things like that. And we can use it as an adjective to describe anything that has these kinds of qualities. Magical, beautiful, like it should be out of a fairy story. Now, when we do make an adjective out of this, we put a hyphen in the middle. And there's always a word after fairy tale place, fairy tale ending, and so on.
Yeah, 所以它就是童话般的，代表呢，在台湾呢，看樱花根本就不输童话故事的美。
Yeah, so a fairy tale ending would be the kind of happy ending you get in a story when everybody, the good guy marries the princess and the villain is defeated and everyone lives happily ever after.
Yeah.
That's a fairy tale ending. So the article ends by saying, don't miss the flowers this spring.
所以不要错过今年春天最漂亮的花了。We hope you enjoy our article today. And right now, let's go to our For You Chat question.
All right.
For You Chat.
So our question is, other than cherry blossoms, so not including cherry blossoms, what plants and flowers are special in Taiwan? What makes them important?
I can think, I'll think of the magnolias in Chiang.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's their flower emblem.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so
Describe
it's cool.
these flowers.
Yeah, they look like cherry blossoms to me.
Okay.
But they're pink, sometimes they're white. And I think they're a little bigger than cherry blossoms. Like, if you can see...
But the bushes are smaller.
Yeah.
Than a cherry tree.
I only see them in pictures. But my dad, he's in love with flowers. So he tells me things about flowers all the time. And he mentioned that this kind of flower is the flower emblem of Chiang. So I thought it would be really...
Yeah.
It's an important flower.
Definitely fits.
Taiwan.
I mean, if we're going to move away from flowers, I guess tea. Tea plants. I mean, the question is, what plants are special in Taiwan? There's again, Alishan has the high mountain oolong tea. Down in Sun Moon Lake, you've got the Sun Moon Lake black tea that's pretty special. Yeah. So, yeah, there are some varieties of tea that only Taiwan has. So I guess that makes it pretty special in Taiwan because the tea is famous and a lot of people like to drink it. Pineapple trees produce pineapples for pineapple cakes, which are famous in Taiwan. I connect a lot of things with food, but to look at tongue trees that you get in like Miaoli, Hsinchu County area, they look kind of like snow. All white. Calla lilies that you get up in Yangmingshan at certain types.
海鱼.
Oh, you're better at the names. You've learned a lot from your dad here with all the names. So, if you start thinking and adding all the fruits and trees and all the other stuff to that, then you end up with a very big, long list. But we haven't got time to go through everything because we're out of time for today. Thanks for listening, everybody. For English For You, I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A colorful guide to Taiwan's cherry blossoms. Chiang Kai-Shek Memorial Hall, Taipei City. With plenty of cherry blossoms, the gardens here offer a chance to find springtime beauty in the city. Around February and March, the trees are filled with flowers, while colorful azaleas bloom below. Alishan, Chiang County. Whereas northern Taiwan gets many of its blossoms in January, the buds on Alishan open later. Its 20,000 cherry blossom trees usually show their spring colors during March and April. When they do, the scene is magical. You can appreciate Alishan's blossoms from the windows of its charming old steam train. Wuling Farm, Taichung City. Wuling Farm is high in the mountains of central Taiwan, and it is a dramatic setting for cherry blossom viewing. Its thousands of beautiful trees are at their best along lovely walking paths like Tea Garden Trail. This finishes at a resting pavilion where you can sit back and enjoy the colorful mountain scenery. Cherry blossom viewing in Taiwan is nothing less than a fairy tale experience. Don't miss the flowers this spring.
Vocabulary Review. Plenty. There are plenty of empty seats in the classroom, so we can sit anywhere we like. Offer. The new factory will offer many new jobs to workers in the area. Bud. Mary is happy to see new buds on her plant, as it means she'll soon have many flowers. Charming. The charming village in the mountains looks pretty when it's covered in snow. Central. Not many people live in the central part of Taiwan because of all the high mountains there. Path. We walked on a path through the forest, which led to a small lake.
智慧小补帖
Pavilion. Scenery. Fairy tale.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net